good, people? It's your boy Icarus Gray.
And it's your homeboy Wordplay TJ.
And this is the No Rhyme or Reason podcast, where we talk about everything.
Everything for no reason at all. And we're live.
Yeah. What's good, people? It's your boy Icarus Gray.
And it's your homeboy Wordplay TJ.
And this is the No Rhyme or Reason podcast, where we talk about everything.
Everything for no reason at all.
Rock on.
Yeah. So we're going to be talking about Vince Staples' 7th studio album, just now released. He says he's independent. Mm-hmm. Yes, but distribution is through Universal by way of Loma Vista, the record label owned by former Warner CEO. And in this album, he departs from his traditional hip-hop vibe and goes like rock hip-hop. And but that's not what people expect it to be. There is normally a bad interpretation of rock music from most hip-hop artists, and he did not do that. And so we're going to tell you today why this is the most important album for 2026. It is likely the most successful, not successful, but like the most impactful album for 2026, and why it is the only album that you should listen to above other albums. Drake doesn't matter. Listen to Vince Staples. He said it right.
I think you forgot one important part.
What?
There are no skips on this album.
No skips whatsoever. So the album's called Crybaby. It has a picture of Crybaby Trump on top of on the cover, and you should listen to it. You should take a listen. We're going to talk about some of the songs. We're going to talk about some of the lyrics, break down our opinion of it, and really just kind of share our points of view for this album so that you can go listen to it and enjoy it. What are we going to do first?
First,
project.
We are going to start with Cotton. One of, like, Vince basically took every song to me and did like a kind of a metaphoric look at America and the condition, and he found ways.
The condition of black folks.
Yes.
Specifically.
And I think he found a way to really encapsulate that within the rock genre, and really make it stand out in so many different ways that I think Cotton really is going to do. But this was one of your picks, and I really wanted to hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah, so I have a lot of thoughts, and I'm going to try to break them down as concisely as I possibly can.
Okay.
So let's think about the metaphor of cotton since you brought the metaphor up, right? It is a plant that is painful to cultivate. It is the primary plant that was used to subjugate black folks in America, outside of tobacco and sugarcane. It is the metaphor of it. If you've ever picked cotton, which probably most of you haven't, it has these thorns and these sort of thistles that like will hurt your hand as you're picking it. So even though it is like commercially rewarding, it is painful to actually cultivate. And I feel like that metaphor of that pain comes out in this song. And not only that, he flips the vibe of the song to make it more like danceable, to satiate that pain. So it's saying to modern day America, like, hey, we've gone, pick me up when I'm down. Pick me up when I'm down is the refrain that like comes over and over again. And that cotton was the benefit to America, but at the same time, the pain that like the Black America feels. And in order for us to like make it through that pain, we have to like sing and dance. And so that those metaphors sit there for me in that song. And then the bigger metaphor for the album itself is a reclaiming of that commercialism that we were sent through, right? Rock and roll is going to be seen as a white genre, but Vince here is reclaiming rock and roll
Yeah.
for a black artist. He is commercializing something that was taken from us, taken from our pain and our anguish, and now he's saying, "No, this is mine, and I'm going to give you a highlight reel of what America is like from my point of view."
And I also think there's one central lyric that I'm like drawn to because there's a theming that is going to be brought back up when I talk about Big Bad Wolf, but I want to at least show how he's bringing this up on Cotton when he talks about like the black experience with religion and those that have this one question of like when he says when Jesus died upon that cross, he left us lost singing the same old song. And so we always talk about like, well, where was God when, slavery and all these things. So I think like even encapsulating that and just saying like that feeling is so poignant and loud because why would you not feel that? In the middle of all of these things, like even if you, and on top of that, you were during that time being presented transformed shorter, like a modified Bible on top of that to like then be told,
Oh yeah,
that
the verses are used to subjugate you.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're going to have a very, very visceral and different experience. And for Vince to encapsulate that while making you dance is nuts.
Right.
But it's so like music does heal and open you to like actually, if you're actually listening, I should say, actually hearing what's going on around you.
Yeah, and he does a great job at being, or showing rather, his ability to songwrite in this entire project. His songwriting ability is something that shines throughout this because you're not feeling as if you're consuming something heavy, right? But it is nutrient dense when it comes to like unpacking all the lyrics, and so that is the perfect balance of, very simple rhythmic lyricism and nutrient dense wordplay.
Yeah, and it's very important to mention this in the sense that this is what most people will criticize Kendrick for, quote unquote, not being able to do, and why the people that won't go back to his albums are like, I don't want to, or even Drake said he rapped like he trying to get slaves freed and all this other stuff.
Right.
But this, I feel like you will listen to, you will like be able to start like unpacking things, even if you don't necessarily realize that you're unpacking things, because he had the perfect marriage, which is, mind you, this is very difficult to do. And to be this nutrient dense and still fun is like a masterclass of artistry.
Yeah, I think the difference between Vince and Kendrick is just Kendrick uses more words.
Yeah.
And so that is difficult to process.
Yeah.
It's more difficult to process, so to speak. So speaking of the wolves in the room, right? Big Bad Wolf. What is that about for you?
So for me, it's like, so there's multi layers, right? The first layer exists in the sample. The sample is from a children's story from Slick Rick, which has been used before. Nas used it. I think Kanye used it before. But the way he uses it in this almost haunting way, and it's not haunting in the sense of the song and how it sounds, but it's haunting when you sit on the lyrics. So he's flipping the Once Upon a Time Not Long Ago, rat-a-tat, and all the cops scattered, cop shot a kid, cop shot a kid, and then you start to run through in your brain.
You almost did that too well. Don't get us copyright claimed.
Oh.
I'm just joking. I'm messing with you.
I got scared for a second. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, wait, did I? No, but like where it got haunting is I was sitting there like, oh my God. Like, and I'm picturing each, like every time I hear the sample, I can picture each kid that I'm thinking about. I can think about Trayvon Martin. I can think about, Mike Brown, and just the plethora
Countless.
of the countless.
Right. And even if they're not children, they're
Yeah.
somebody's kid.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm like, yo, that is 10,000 levels of genius, because it's just really using something. I mean, it's what we're supposed to use samples for anyway, to bolster or louden the message that we're trying to give. But I think that he really did that, right? So we start there. The secondary portion, which was the most important, which, like I said, ties into my first point, was which is my line of the album, which is, "Who drew that white man hanging up on the cross? Don't put your right hand on the word of God." And it's like, again, you're calling out back to Cotton this misrepresentation of not only the Bible, but then the conditioning of the creation of white Jesus, and all of these different things, where it's like everything around you is basically saying, I don't care about you, and I'm going to do everything I can to subjugate your existence.
Right. I'm going to do everything I can to bolster white supremacy.
Yes.
And that is a thesis statement for Vince throughout this entire project.
Right.
He is screaming out loud, look at what they've done to us. Look at what they've continued to do to us. And at one point in the album, he says that they brought us here. They stole us. Is what he stole is the word that he used. And so the big bad wolf, right, is the one that, I mean, it's a metaphor for, like, what was the big bad wolf going after?
Yep. He was going after the pigs' houses.
Right.
He was going after, like, whatever material. Like, well, he was going after to eat them.
Right.
But in doing that,
But the animal that he's going after
is the pig.
Right.
And so when I think about it in regards to, because that was my third point on the song, which is, you have to think about the fact that he's mentioning what happens, right? So even when, whether it's Black Wall Street, Selma, all these different places where it's like, where I'm not even bothering you, and the big wolf is coming.
Yeah.
Like in
the Voting
terms of
Rights
white,
Act.
yeah. Like in terms of white supremacy.
Project 2025.
Like when I'm not doing anything, even the conversations around the stuff that happened in Atlanta with the Asian store owner and the person that got shot and all these things. And it's like, there are all of these things where people come in, like, even when not bothering, not doing, and like, I don't even have to be in your presence to have my presence misrepresented or stereotype be given to you about who I am before you ever meet me.
Right.
And the big bad wolf is so many different things, because it doesn't matter what you do.
Right. And to Slick Rick's point, it's the story that you're told.
See what I'm saying?
Boom. Vince out of the park with this one. Let's keep going, right? Let's talk about stories that we're told. TV Guide, right? So he is sharing that in this song that people are addicted to their screens without saying it. He's using television as the analogy here, but in the modern age, right? It's social media. It's sometimes television, right? It's less that than it is social media currently.
Right.
It is misinformation. It is illiteracy.
Golly.
And media illiteracy, which is part of the plague. And so, as smart as this album is, he is providing you with a constant refrain of turn it off, right? Same thing that Kendrick said, but in a different way.
Yep.
So what you got for this song?
Well, it instantly made me think of Lupe's The Instrumental, because they both have
Tell me more about that, because I don't remember.
So Lupe, The Instrumental, is basically this song. because it's like it's just left his voice and it's just instrumental. So he just sits and watches the box because he's talking about the TV and he's trying to figure out how to unlock the box, like because he's like tied himself to it because he doesn't want to miss how to get away from it.
Right.
And so with TV Guide,
Oh, by the way, go watch our Lupe Fiasco video for Food and Liquor.
for TV Guide, it's like you woke up, turned on, you sleep, you're watching it. Like you can't, you don't detach yourself from it, right? There used to be a joke.
Touch grass. That's what they say.
There used to be a joke about how you knew whether or not you fell asleep watching BET because you would wake up and just hear Creflo or not Creflo, but I can't think of the dude's name, but J. Cole had him on Born Center. But you wake up and you hear just oh Lord, like you hear like because we're falling asleep watching TV. We're falling asleep watching these messages, not knowing that these messages are affecting us. Whereas, like a lot of people, their first involvement or understanding of Birth of a Nation is a completely different movie than the original Birth of a Nation that basically set the precedent of how we are viewed in America.
It was KKK propaganda.
Yeah.
The first one.
And you just think about this and you think about these images and you think about the things that you're seeing. You think about like how they're changing things. And it's not like some sort of woke conversation. This is
They don't know what woke means.
they don't, which is why I'm saying that's why air quotes, because it's like you are given all these things. And I think the craziest thing about America is we've conditioned Americans to think of propaganda one way. And that's through the lens of communism and through the lens of like, well, no, it's this.
Through the lens of anything that would benefit you from breaking down the oligarchy, breaking down white supremacy, breaking down those that continue to like build policy that hurt people. Fun.
Like if you think about it, it's like these are the same people who would like give all of these things telling you how gambling is bad. Now gambling is on every athlete's jersey everywhere.
Which is why I don't agree with gambling, right? Like,
you know what I'm saying? Like, again, same. Like, I don't agree because it was always told to me this. And then the same thing, like, when we were coming up, like, about alcohol sponsors. Like, there were some, but they had to present it a certain way. And now everybody, like, not just beer, but, like, hard liquors are, on jerseys in this way or that way. Or, like, they're giving more advertisements in this way to where it's like, it was never about what you said it was about. But the propaganda made me feel like, if I did these things, it would crumble society.
Yeah, and I also think there's propaganda in TV in general, and I think you were alluding to this in pre-production. Like, I'm told how to be in society or what steps I need to take in my life by the TV.
Oh, yeah.
By this age, I need to be doing this. By this age, I need to have this girlfriend or this boyfriend. By this age, I need to be done with college and have the most supreme prom that I ever had, and get yelled at by somebody's dad, and then get married to that girl after college is done, and then we have 2 kids, and then the house, and then the white picket fence, right? Like, we're told exactly what to be by the messages that we're provided, but like nobody's thinking for themselves to like, oh, I don't have to live within that box.
No.
I don't have to live like the idea that diamonds are the reason why proposals are important is a perversion of the sentiment in and of itself. Some people won't even get married if the rock isn't big enough.
Yeah, and a crazy market.
But
of
that
the
person
fact that
still loves you, and you'll reject them based off of the size of the ring, not the size of their affection,
or the cost, the budget of it. And it's something that is literally not even made by, like, you don't realize how you're being controlled by the fact that those prices like are already hiked up to infinity just because they know you will.
They're artificially inflated because they control the market.
They control the market.
They control the supply.
They control
so they
everything.
can control the price.
And then they say, just off of their discussions on what they want to make for that year, which then sets your expectations for, like you said, like how much somebody loves you based off of, like, it's not even in y'all's relationship anymore. It's based in somebody that doesn't even care that you exist or care that, like, you're having a relationship. They don't care.
Yeah.
Like, the markup is literally thousands of, or 1,000% maybe plus, no matter where you go, unless you're buying from a pawn shop. And even then, the only reason they can't do that is because you're able to, in your mind, know that this is a secondhand market instead of making that. Like, if a pawn shop is able to sell you something that costs $5,000 in a jewelry store, why are they able to do that?
Because it doesn't cost them anything.
Like, you get what I'm saying?
They
like,
bought it for the tenth of the price.
You know, and it's like, well, then, it's basically basic market knowledge of understanding that the market, quote unquote, dictates whatever, but the market is still people.
Mm-hmm.
And we allow other people that are not like the actual people living in the market to dictate so many different things. Like TV Guide just.
That is Basic Economics,
Golly.
brought to you by No Rhyme or Reason podcast.
Oh my God, it's such a good song, bro.
But speaking of economics, right? Like my segues. Oh, only in America.
Speaking of Reaganomics,
right? Only in America can they do these things, and so I think this song is important because it points out a lot of American contradictions, right? So we can scream America the Beautiful. At the same time, we can ignore all of the things that America does and say we are in benefit of it because we are, satiated by the TV, right? We can say that all of these wars are a good thing because it keeps us peaceful, but it creates chaos for somebody else around the globe. I believe that that is the overarching theme of that song. What else is there?
I think it's one of those, the irony of how these only in America things where you're like, you think of America one way, but you only think of America, especially if you are in the majority, of whatever is beneficial to you, whatever that level is. And it could be one thing that's being beneficial to you. Like the grocery prices could not be beneficial. This could not be beneficial. But if you have one leg up somewhere on somebody, you feel empowered in America. So
and if that leg starts to kick from under you, the person that you blame is not the person with the power, but the person that is perceived to be taking something from you. And they told you that, and you believed them.
Right. So it's like I said, you will ignore grocery prices, gas prices, just import prices in general, and stare at they're trying to take our guns. They want to change the NRA while owning one, and then you'll shoot whoever you want to shoot, and then that's all you really want to do. You don't care that like after you do that, you can't eat. It's hard for you to.
I got money for bullets.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't got money for bread.
Like or even like the time where like you couldn't get eggs,
right?
Because all the eggs are costing $6 and this, that, and the third, which is absurd. And it's like we know the play is white supremacy, and that's why this album does, I think, such a great job of illustrating the game.
It's a reclamation.
Yes,
I'm reclaiming all of this. I'm reclaiming this genre. I'm reclaiming the story. I'm reclaiming my dignity.
Right.
For the sake of,
good finish.
Yeah. So I think this connects to one of the lyrics that I had pulled up, from Go Go Gorilla. And that lyric is, went from bread lines to picket lines to mainline prison time for the crimes we commit, but genocide, that don't mean none to Uncle Sam, guess is dignified. Yeah, so you do something very, I would say, not consequential to the greater population, right? Something that you may do, steal something, take something, whatever is petty, right,
Yeah.
and put you in prison, but the folks that are creating genocide, the folks that are bombing people, never get to see the prison time because they're doing it under the guise of only for America. God bless America. Like, I'm doing this thing for the American safety or the American values, but so we can attain all those things that we see on the TV. And if we get the opportunity to obtain those things, we can bomb as many people as we want to. We can hurt as many people as we want to. We can demonize as many people as we want to. But we don't ever see ourselves as the devil.
No, because there's an illusion that is continuously placed on us that people forget, right? Money is a tool. We all agree. We know it's a tool. We know we need to use it. Here's where you forget. Money is basically a fake system that is just the basis of how we barter. And we choose what...
It's an IOU.
It's an IOU. And we basically just choose what the barter is. Like, you forget that because you just allow every other portion of life or society or whatever that case may be to choose what that is for you. And when I'm thinking about God Bless America, like I said, when you're going over for oil and all this other stuff, it's like, but you don't need it. Like, you have other places where you're able to get what you're going for. You have other situations where you're able to, like, if you lower the cost of say, a resource or whatever, right? Like, we haven't had an oil crisis that you have ever noticed.
What?
That has ever been like to where it literally affected the day-to-day of whoever it was that it was the smaller person that thinks they are affected.
I'll be careful with never because
not never.
In the 70s
okay,
it happened.
Okay, good point. Good point. My bad. What I mean to say is in the modern era, there has been way less times where it has actually affected most people.
Right. You're not necessarily standing in the breadline yet.
Is what it's on.
Yet.
Is more so what I mean.
There's tons of people in poverty, by the way. So that's I think that's my concern.
No. Yeah, I mean it more so as a... It's not that...
You're more privileged than what you think you are.
Yes, you're more privileged than what you think you are, but also it's not because we need to go over here to steal something or go in a war from somebody else.
We don't need to take somebody else's resources to feel the abundance that we currently have.
No, we just need to be able to afford it, which is not something that they're stopping us from.
Right.
Like our governments, our states. You know, you choose the inflation rate or whatever. Like, that's the Boston Tea Party thing, the taxation without representation. Like, you can't tell me the reason why these things are happening at this rate to everyone that you're causing it to, while also not increasing the minimum wage and everything else that's like going on. There are other parts that you control while making me only focus on one thing that will not trickle down into helping, like, me survive, basically.
Yeah.
Is what I think about this song. It's like, it's just... if you say God Bless America, people are crazy. That's all. Anyway, but
we got you up on your soapbox.
They did. Oh my gosh, I was trying to get off of it, man. But like, yeah.
So instead of us being Cornel West right now, we're gonna close this out. I think y'all should go pick up Cry Baby. You should listen to it many times. It's a very easy listen. 10 songs, 30-something minutes, 35 minutes, man. And you're in and you're out, and you'll want to listen to it again, 0 skips. And I think that's what we feel about it. So
yeah. So let us know what you feel about it. Leave your comments down in the comments.
Yes.
Yeah. Do that. Make sure you like and subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you can be notified for every time that we go live. We'll see you in the next piece. A 1 and a 2 and a peace.